What is your take on Ozempic?
Ozempic has become a household name and a cultural
And
phenomenon.
how does it actually work?
We do give Ozempic to a lot of patients. It's the latest kid on the block. What I don't like it is the pre-wedding market. So 3 महीने में वो Ozempic से हो जाएगा ना.
Welcome Dr. Malhar. आपने वो रील में बोला था that it's okay to give a little bit of sugar to your kid, which has created a lot of controversy.
No sugar, baby. A samosa is not bad for you. We've eaten thousands of samosas growing up. We should have all been diabetic by now. I top-load my nutrition on the first 3 days. But end of the day, it's just...
Whenever I open Instagram, every post or every other thing makes me think 100 times before I pick up any food item. Every other day, it's like you replace this with this. You don't have this.
And everything causes cancer. You live in two worlds. Either you're thinking about... You'll see Virat Kohli eating a chola bhatura. They are hyper cautious with... See, Bollywood is Bollywood for a reason. They are ultra lean. I'm not even using the word fit. They're just ultra lean for a reason. They don't eat. There shouldn't have to be a diet.
You don't believe in diets.
I'm not a big believer in suppressing all cravings. So I think this is a chronic mistake that people make. The average patient I see takes 1 tablet at 40, 2 at 45, 4 at 50, 8 at 55 and 16 by 65. So there's every 5 years a doubling, which is insanity. You can be overweight, but out of shape is not excusable.
Well, this episode is going to change the way you see food. Welcome on Rawr with Sneha. I am your host Sneha Desai, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe because Rawr is all about building a community that wants change, growth, and wants to become more aware of their lives. So I'm somebody who used to love food and used to be carefree when it came to eating anything and everything. But as we are growing up, we hear so many no's. मतलब आप सोशल मीडिया पे देखते हो, कहीं पे आप पढ़ते हो, किसी ने आपको ये कहा कि शुगर नहीं खाना है, ग्लूटेन फ्री हो जाना है, डेयरी फ्री प्रोडक्ट्स खाने हैं. And that sort of inspired or sort of got me thinking, and that's why I decided to invite Dr. Malhar Ganla, who is a co-founder of Freedom from Diabetes and Obesity Center in Pune. So he's helped thousands of people get freedom from obesity and help them live a better and a fitter life. If you are somebody who loves food or आपको सब खाना है and you want to live in a healthy way, then watch this episode till the end. So let's invite Dr. Malhar Ganla. Let's roll. Welcome Dr. Malhar on Rawr with Sneha. I am super excited to have you here and looking forward to learning so many things about food. You have been helping people get freedom from diabetes and obesity. So आपके पास बहुत सारे clients, of course, they come with the major issue of being fat or I'm not able to lose weight. What do you think are the major problems that these people face with food in regards to food?
I don't think they face any issues. It's largely now just, it's what's called affluenza in India now. So these are many families now have just one grandchild, or the earlier generation was just 2 children. So the resources have gotten concentrated now in that sense that money is not a problem. So these are diseases of abundance. Once you have enough money in the system, inadvertently, if you don't have hobbies, you will spend on food as entertainment. So we do get out and just eat more because we don't see the right-hand side anymore. So these are environmental diseases. Yes, the genetics are there. Okay, but your parents got obese at 40 and 60.
Yeah.
Children are getting there at 10 and 20.
Yeah.
Again, it's just when you see the Venn diagram, it's just the money. The money has led to consumption, which has led to obesity. So it's not purely, anyone's individual fault. It's more environmental.
Yeah, it's because the resources are available. Like there's a plethora of options and everything is available at a fingertip. So you have Swiggy, Zomato, and I think...
Again, the options have always been there. It's just that now you can afford everything.
Okay.
It's called the 4-2-1 pyramid, reverse pyramid. So 4 grandparents, 2 parents, 1 child. So when you have this situation that one child has so many options to go to for resources. So if mom is not giving it, he can go to grandmom. And then inadvertently someone or the other will say yes.
Yeah.
So the child never feels deprived. He just goes for what he feels like today.
Yeah.
It's just there. Nothing right or nothing wrong.
And India में एक बहुत सारा, like India में, don't you think we are more like towards food? Like it's more on emotion. Like food is all about emotions more than nutrients. Like say if you come to my house, me giving you multiple options is a way of showing love.
Yeah.
Like I've made you like 10 dishes. That means, oh, like you really mean a lot to me. And इसलिए मैंने इतना सब खाना बनाया. And if you don't eat it, it might like be offensive. Like some people So we are so food centric.
Yeah.
How is this? Like, how is this to do with our relationship with food?
Yeah, and I think nothing wrong. It's guest centric. We were always meant to taste cuisine. We were never meant to consume it in volume. There's nothing wrong with tasting one jalebi, one samosa, etc., etc.
Okay.
Nothing wrong. It's cultural, it's social, it's bonding. There's so much value to food. So, and you see so many cultures in the world, so many chefs. It's a very valuable and integral part of our culture. There's nothing wrong with it. And we need not demonize food as the enemy here. Or neither is our hosting capabilities at fault. The problem is with the consumption.
Okay.
The level of entitlement that is there, which is there is no stop. You want to have your cake and eat it too, then you're going to be in trouble. And in general, it's a convenience economy, which is the problem. You don't need to move for anything now. So exercise has become more and more structured. कि वो आधे घंटे में ही करना है.
1 घंटे का जिम फिर हाँ.
आधे घंटे. So वो 23 घंटे में in general it's more sedentary, but वो 1 घंटे में मैं power pack करूँगा. It doesn't work like that. You can't load the body with calories for literally 14-15 hours a day and just offset it in 1 hour.
Okay.
So again, it's just pure convenience. Earlier generations were active for 16 hours and eating for 16 hours. We've just taken away the activity.
Okay.
The food's still the same. Of course, in general, affordability, calorie density has increased because again, we're making richer foods.
So abundance, yes, is one issue as you said, but जो मैं देख रही हूँ or what even I end up doing is when I'm emotionally down or when because of stress in general and because of the availability at my fingertip, कुछ भी होता है तो immediately to cheer myself up, the first thing would be I'll order a donut or I'll do a cupcake or I'll do because it is available and it makes me feel better. So my relationship also with food has to do with my emotions something or the other. So do you think when you meet patients, a psychological training is also required more than only just telling them what to eat?
I think people know the difference between right and wrong in terms of high sugar and high fat and high oil sources. Indians are very discerning that way. We don't need to, and I'm not a fan of judging obese or fat people just by what they eat. So we have a saying in obesity, it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. So there's something eating you also at the same time. And whatever's gnawing away at your brain, we need to get down that one layer deeper than just judging you for a behavioral facet, which is, oh, he ordered a donut and I didn't order a donut. So that means I'm a better person. It's not so simple. Or go looking for some physiological, pathological lab report which says, oh, his insulin fasting is high. That's why he ordered a donut. It's not so simple. It's convenience. I needed to pep myself up. That was the convenient sugar thing to do. I just did it. It's a drug. It doesn't make him an addict or anything. People will do anything to improve their mood. There have been drugs of all kinds from years. So we just don't start labeling people by saying there's a behavioral problem here. And all of these I find are
But also behavioral also might be a major part when you are trying to talk to your patients. 100% food is one
Yes.
part, but
that's why I said what's eating you.
what's eating you? Yeah.
There has to be, and that layer has to be peeled. It's like an orange or an onion. You can't just judge it from the top like that. That's a top layer. The obesity is always just the top layer. I call obesity a symptom. The disease is something else.
Okay.
But again, does everyone have to be like Hitler's perfect man, perfect BMI, some kind of racial perfection or something? It's not. There are all kinds of humans here. Will be humans ranging from 40 kgs to 240 kgs. We don't have to divide them in the world into two between obese and non-obese. These are just medical classifications because somewhere it does link to health risks. That's all. Beyond that, quality of life, ability to create impact in society, whatever, everything continues.
The same way. Yeah.
Everything doesn't have, like I said, food is a very superficial correlation with obesity. There's a lot more at stake. When you start treating people and not their weight, that is when you're in this for the right reasons. Otherwise, you're just in this for, and it's that famous Henry Ford quote where people came to Henry Ford asking for a faster horse and he gave them a car. So when people come to me saying, I want to lose weight, I don't look at their weight. I send them back an athlete. Now, that shift where you've seen the movie Inception, right? Leonardo DiCaprio. You have to incept an idea so deep in a person's head that he wakes up thinking it was his idea to be an athlete. It wasn't mine. My idea was just to remove that I want to lose it, I want to lose weight to I want to be an athlete.
Athlete, yeah. So you, yeah, what?
You shift the question.
Yeah.
But that shifting the question requires me to get into his brain. For that, he has to trust me.
Yeah.
So for that, I need to solve some existential problem first. Well, there's a lot more to this game than just ye diet chart le lo or weight loss karo. It is the famous saying in dietetics is dosage is poison.
Okay.
What is the dosage of that item you're consuming? And what is its frank effect on your health in the long run if you increase frequency? Bas.
Okay.
Jada, healthy, non-healthy, superfoods, don't need to do all that. Your granddad had samosa only and idli only. I like Ruchuta Divekar that way. I respect her a lot for what she says. She talks about eating native food and I really like that concept. It's just that it's a little difficult for working people to execute nutrition from home-based foods. So they tend to look outside to supplements. But inherently, she's got it right, where she says that there shouldn't have to be a diet.
So you don't believe in diets?
Of course, but diets are not sustainable. Diets are not sustainable. And especially when there's a larger body size. See, I'll give you a simple example. If I'm 100 kgs versus I'm 70 kgs, this 30 kg differential requires a significant amount of energy to heat itself, to mobilize itself. And even if I go exercise, I need much more energy if I'm 100 kgs.
Yeah.
What are you going to increase in your food? That question mark will always remain. You can't just increase the carbs, fat. You can't add a samosa there to make up the calorie gap. So these are real world problems that our generation now is facing. My grandparents weighed 60 kgs on an average.
Okay.
My parents weighed 80. Our generation will weigh an average of 90. My kids will weigh an average of 100. You go to any developed country, there is an escalation 2-3 inches in height and in weight in every generation. But Indians are filling this gap with fried carbohydrate because there is no other protein, especially in vegetarians. Vegetarians blend carbs with oil. Non-vegetarians blend non-chicken with oil. The common factor is still oil.
Yeah.
Because we don't know low oil cooking. We have traditionally cooked for large families.
Yeah, everything is in
Because
oil.
there were joint families. How do you reach calories to so many people? And there was a budget. Now there is no budget. So the carbohydrates are still there. Now refined carbs. So it's nobody's fault. We just as a society have to take ownership individually of, what's going on. It's again, it's very social. We are becoming a rich country in the way we are consuming food. So that developed economy change has to come. It's just way it is. I don't want to, like I said, I don't like to demonize food, people, psychology, nothing. It's just each generation there's of inflation in the weight.
No, that's what I'm saying, that demonizing food, as in now, whenever I have entered in my 30s, whenever I open Instagram, every post or every other thing makes me think 100 times before I pick up any food item. ये मत खाओ, वो मत खाओ, ये मत करो, gluten free है, dairy free जाओ, ये करो, वो करो. And which I used to actually innocently enjoy food somewhere as a person.
Yeah, you started thinking.
I'm thinking about food and I don't want to do that. For what? Why have I made to think about something that I'm having 3 times a day and I should be enjoying my meal?
And you live in two worlds. You live in two worlds. Either you're thinking about it or you're total belligerent saying, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता, जो खाना है खाओ.
Exactly. You'll have two extreme
You
kind
have
of people.
yourself.
Yeah.
You go through both phases in the year.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like,
I don't care.
you don't care.
Yeah.
Or you'll say, I worked out a lot, I just want to eat, yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes to native food, you'll justify anything. When it comes to health food, you'll be like hyper. You'll bring in superfoods, moringa, this, that. But the rest of the time, you're like, kuch bhi chalta hai.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it is where it is. We are where we are. There's a lot of confusion.
There's a lot of confusion.
There is a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
Finally, it comes down to the quantum of food you're consuming. See, Bollywood is Bollywood for a reason. They are ultra lean. I'm not even using the word fit. They're just ultra lean for a reason. They don't eat more than 1,000, 1,200 calories a day, each of them. They just live on that much. They have learned to portion control like anything. You'll see a Virat Kohli eating a chola bhatura. That's his one meal of the day. Beyond that, he'll get his nutrition from somewhere or the other. He'll get his protein, his micronutrients, he'll get his black coffees, but he will not eat another calorie to save his life. Or Ranbir Kapoor, that's it, that one meal, maybe butter chicken, but that's it. they are hyper cautious with energy intake and they don't confuse energy with nutrition. We love blending the two because we want to justify what we want to eat. We'll drink a cappuccino and say, "Doodh tha na, calcium hai." You will not find Bollywood doing that. It's not that they are hyper vegans. It's just that they will be very cautious with energy density of food. And a person who wants to stay below his genetic weight category has to just learn to do that.
So do you think it's a good thing? Like if I'm having my, if me as a person, if I want to eat everything for a longer period of time and stay fit, what would you recommend? Like I'm not in Bollywood, like any other person who's watching this video. How can I eat everything and yet take care like that I'm not putting on weight, I'm not having any issues with my health in general, like related to
But
food?
you need to learn to eat. It's how much you eat. After some time, it can't be what you eat. You can't get constantly obsessed with
Exactly, yeah.
sugar is bad, this is good, that's good. You just have to settle down with how much of your, like I said, dosage is poison. A samosa is not bad for you. We've eaten thousands of samosas growing up. We should have all been diabetic by now. I've eaten maybe 5,000 Maggies since I was a kid. Nobody's got lead poisoning. But end of the day, it's just how much we ate. That dosage was that much, right? 200 grams, 300 grams. That's what it was. Fruits, we have all eaten millions. Nothing has happened to those of us who were active and who ate it in a rational dose. Those who cross the dose of normal. See, you take a crocin, you take an aspirin. You have 8 aspirins, 9 aspirins at a time, you're going to have trouble. Any drug that crosses that threshold dose into toxicity, food also has a toxic dose, yeah? The tragedy is you don't see the effect immediately.
Yeah.
And weight gain is not the only marker. There's so much more, but we can't see it real time. There's no data, no. But it is what it is.
Okay. And one of the reels of yours, which has created a lot of controversy, because we just spoke about what to eat, what not to eat, and you spoke. I know so many parents right now. Like I have my friends who have kids now, and they don't give them sugar.
No sugar baby.
No sugar
Hashtag,
baby.
yeah.
Yes. And आपने वो reel में बोला था that it's okay to give a little bit of sugar to your kid when they are growing up, because we all did that. We all had Parle-Gs. Then why are they deprived of it? There's so much controversy about it. So, what do
I
you
think it's a 30 to 45-year-old's obsession with reclaiming their youth and not wanting to accept their age, trying to look 10 kgs lighter by flexing, not eating certain foods that for them are causing problems. So your 30-year-old self's metabolism has slowed down compared to what it was when you were 18. So has your activity because you're not as active as you were. To compensate for all that, you're doing the right thing by not adding sugar to your tea and coffee. What are you not doing depriving an 8-year-old who's playing for an hour in the society and coming up? You don't want to give them a little bit of sugar in their food. I mean, really, sweetness is in childhood, is in the damn sugar. I mean, and if you're not going to give them, I mean, it's your choice, it's your child. I'm not. I brought up both my children. They travel the world, consume sugar in every country. Both are as tall as they could be, almost as tall as me, and absolutely fit and fine. So
But the controversy is about like the kids nowadays. Also, the other meals have become about junk food. So that's why, you know what? Somewhere or the other, they are saying that don't give them chocolates or don't give them biscuits.
how much are you going to hold back? It's like TV. You don't give a child television. I know so many parents who don't show their child TV till they're 15, 16.
Yeah, no screen.
How long will you not give them a phone? The day the child gets the freedom, that child is going to do a recovery plus interest because they have missed out on all those years. Now, it's going to happen with sugar. Like my kids, I just didn't drink Coke and Pepsi much. I still don't. I may have it once in maybe whatever. So we never bought these cold drinks at home. Just because of that, collaterally, my children never ended up having it. They never developed a taste for cold drinks. Even now, it's not their first choice. But that doesn't mean they have not tasted it. But if they have to go crazy after it, they can get addicted at 20 after they're gone from my house also.
Yeah.
What they do behind my back when they are out of my presence is not in my control. This world, they also have Instagram. They are also getting triggered. So end of the day, I'm just saying sugar is part of childhood, and invisible sugar is one thing in cakes and all that. You can't see it. But visible sugar, to me, I don't know. I would never deprive a child of that. Again, to each their own. I get the rage in the comments. There are a lot of these 30-year-old moms who just attack the hell out of me. But hats off to you. I mean, if you can pull it off, So good for you.
With sugar, I recently read something about monk fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people are saying that you can replace.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
You can, so it's like
Go ahead.
you have.
Go ahead. Maybe 25 years from now, we'll be discussing monk fruit causes cancer. Who knows? So,
Because
ahead.
everything is very new.
and everything causes cancer. So we don't know. So according to some counter, non-monk fruit will come out. Someone who's not a monk and will come out and say that monk fruit causes cancer. And then you'll sit again.
I'm saying there's so much debate. Every other day, it's like you replace this with this. You don't have this. Like a simple cup of chai also now. उसमें sugar नहीं डालना है, उसमें दूध नहीं डालना है. So it's like you're just taking away so many things.
Wisdom is you should know in your decade of life what you need to let go. That's wisdom. Knowledge is knowing too much sugar causes trouble. That's knowledge. But how relevant is it to you at this decade in life? That you internalize and make right decisions.
So what you're trying to say is कि for example अगर मुझे उतना energy चाहिए, if it's a hectic day and if I have
It's
that
not
kind of
energy.
sugar,
Sugar is a stimulant. Sugar is not energy.
okay.
Sugar is a stimulant. It opens you up. It's dopamine. It was never meant to be energy.
Okay.
Energy is when you're in ICU, I give you glucose. That is energy.
हाँ.
Here it's not energy. It's you're getting enough energy from your food and the fat in your body. This is pure stimulation. I drink a cup of tea. It's also delicacy. It's the complete package. To me, tea without sugar, I can't drink it. I can have the green teas, flavored teas, but अदरक चाय जो है ना, वो basic टपरी वाली अदरक चाय, उसमें तुम खिल जो महाराष्ट्र में खड़ा चम्मच बोलते हैं, जब तक चम्मच खड़ा नहीं होता तब तक शक्कर डालते हैं. तो that is what, when I travel every weekend, I go to our camps, on maybe once in a month, I will stop at that place and I have that 40 ml of sugar tea. And trust me, it tastes like heaven. So all it is it's a delicacy. It's a regional delicacy. I don't know, man. If you want to replace that with monk fruit, be my guest. It's like that air fryer thing.
Yeah, air fryer.
Be my guest. I mean, I don't know. The research says that people consume twice the amount of food in an air fryer than they would with a normal fryer. Because to compensate for the lack of calorie density, you will have twice the volume. So that's what's happening today. People are substituting the real thing for which you already know how much you should eat. But because you don't want to have that, you're removing the essential ingredient, changing it, calling it something else, and eating twice the volume. Because you're not getting that. It's the same thing with sugar-free ice cream. Same thing with vegan ice creams. People order quantity-wise more. Because the amount your body needs to get that. Finally, these are foods for joy. These are not nutrition under any situation. If you're diabetic or type 1, I understand you make a switch, but otherwise you're just,
So what you're saying is that what I should be feeling after eating a normal ice cream, I am going for a vegan one. Or
Yeah.
It's not giving.
it's called the bliss point.
Yeah.
You're not hitting the bliss point. So as long as your dosage of the normal ice cream is well within rational limits, which is 1 scoop or 1.5 scoop, again, it's mapped to your body size.
Okay.
Finally, everything is a dose mapped to your weight in kgs. So at 60 kgs, when I was young, I was eating 1 scoop. At 80 kgs, I might eat 1.5 scoop. Problem is when I start eating it every day, the bliss point keeps rising and I start requiring 2.5, 3 scoops. Soon I require half the pack. This is where the drug, the food, the sugar has become into a drug. So the trick is to not do it every day. Same with alcohol, same with anything addictive. Why would you assume that your child would turn into a sugar addict? Why would you assume you would turn into an addict? Because I'll tell you, when we live in joint families in India, there's always a grandfather who may be diabetic. There may be an alcoholic in the family. We tend to see different addiction personalities and we play out these fears on the child saying, oh, but there is a gene. And then we don't want to raise a perfect child. Or you want to be perfect. This concept of perfection only is crazy. Everybody is perfectly imperfect. You will go through those phases of dependency on something. So to pull you out of, say, a failure or whatever, what is the child going to cling to when they don't get what they want? What is that child going to cling to? So you're trying to raise hypothetically perfect humans here, which is not going to happen.
Yeah.
You aren't perfect yourself. So I think I have settled down with all this that I am not perfect. And what am I projecting perfection on my kids for? So I think it's just a lot of Indian baggage which we haven't rid ourselves of, the familial baggage, and we're trying to now sort of somehow create global citizens who are like, perfect, and yeah, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I hope maybe in a couple of generations we accept the abundance that we have and the imperfections,
Yeah.
because we're not perfect.
I see two kinds of people when I go out. One person is extremely health conscious,
Yeah.
and there'll be one person
Yeah.
who will be like, you know what, like I have seen somebody in my family who's so health conscious. वो बार बार टोक रहा है, ये मत खा, वो मत खा. So I don't care. I'm just going to binge eat.
I'm gonna eat whatever.
I'm going to, I don't care. And I see both kind of people and they're so comfortable being obese also.
Yeah. No, they are the ones. I mean, I don't like to use the word, but there's a little bit of woke thing there, the wokeism thing, which is obesity is the new normal, or inclusivity, or body shaming, or all these words
Yeah.
Instagram teaches them, where they want to normalize being 100 kgs at a young age without having gone through different triggers like midlife or menopause in case of women, or any childbirth, marriage. Without going through anything, you want to normalize it at 21 and say, this is me and it's fine and you better accept it. So I've met a lot of kids that age now who expect my generation, who's 40, to say, oh, but that's cool, that's who you are, it's okay. It's part of who
Do you
you
get
are.
people who come and tell you that this is how I am, like even if they're coming to a...
Yeah, because their parents are very much in a hurry to reverse it, because parents want a normal, perfect kid. And I mean, and this kid is like, but I am perfect, and then the parents are like, yeah, but this is, and then the health risk guns come out saying, oh, but this is a health risk. Again, it's just these are very weird discussions. The motive is very different. The parent is trying to do it for their health, but they haven't set a good example themselves. So, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? So at the end of the day, if the child is to be perfect, he needs a fit parent to look up to. So you need to say, raise the bar yourself first. And today's woke kids won't hesitate telling you that. Ki, mom, your dad, you're telling me to join this class, why don't you go first?
Yeah.
And they'll say it.
Yeah.
Because they've seen it on some reel somewhere where children are standing. I remember my kids Googling at that age, my kids had watched videos on how to get your parents to say yes. There are videos like that. There are content creators. And why not? I started seeing counter videos myself then. How to use strategies when your child is manipulating you to say yes. How do you say no as a parent? So when I Googled it on that phone only. So she also knew I was watching it. Like, they're all comic stuff, But see, again, to me, it's all exploration. You just learn something new every day. No need to get all like dramatic about it.
So what would you say? What is more important? Me being more conscious about my calorie count in the day, or me being more like I should have movement, exercise, fitness, or it's a balance of both? Like I have to know what I'm eating with my exercise also. What I'm burning.
I think you got to be ruthless about getting your protein, getting your nutrition out of the way at the start of the week itself. So we start getting deficient by the end of the week.
Okay.
So Monday to Friday, you just control because you're on a lower calorie, because your Josh is high, and by weekend it's all over because you're malnourished, you're low on protein, and then Saturday, Sunday you go out and you just recover all of it.
Yeah, like you chill, like it's a cheat meal, and then most
all those calories piggyback on that little nutrition that you lacked in the week. So I think this is a chronic mistake that people make. So I top load my nutrition on the first 3 days.
Like
so I get a lot of protein, I get a lot of micronutrients, I take my supplements, my nutrition, nutraceuticals, B12, D3, calcium, iron, everything. We all take it. In my house, everyone takes it every Monday. If it's a heavy workout week, we'll take it again on Thursday. So we are always nutritionally topped up. It's like your engine oil in the car. If you're running that car a lot, you can just put petrol in and out. The engine oil also has to be put. So keep putting that. Otherwise, the car will keep breaking down and you'll keep putting fuel only again. And in our case, the fuel will keep raising your weight. So the right thing to do is make sure your nutrition is in place. People fear healthy food. They've come to fear now because the calorie argument. So you won't eat desi food out of fear that this will cause weight gain. And then you'll go and eat all kinds of junk. See, outside food is driven for calorie density. A McD burger is like 850 calories. It's built to service that need, that food you didn't eat. So we eat 21 meals a week. Typically, 7 3s are 21. If you had only like 12 in the week, you're still shortfalling by a lot in terms of calories. So what you'll do is you'll go and put it all together. So
and that is related to your weight.
तो वो
Yeah,
वो
because
जो
again the
gap है,
addiction.
तो you'll go and fill it
If it's just calories, you won't.
Hmm.
But if you start increasing the frequency, if that becomes a dependency, then inadvertently you will. And again, then you can just cancel culture by saying, oh, but I ate a burger, but then I went for a run. So then the cancel culture starts justifying itself.
Yeah.
End of the day, we got away from the primary argument, which is this car requires petrol and engine oil. So you need your multivitamins, you need your protein, you need your calories. Just get that now first.
But there is so much, again, talk about protein, where they are saying
Yeah.
that, protein powders are going to damage your kidneys. It's going to affect your, in certain ways. So I know so many households, Indian households especially, and उसमें भी एक generation जो 40s के बाद या 50s के बाद, they are not okay with having proteins,
Yeah, yeah.
with having supplements. And they're like, अपने खाने में सब कुछ मिल रहा है, दाल में मिल रहा है, इसमें मिल रहा है, उसमें मिल रहा है.
They are not wrong, but the problem with Indians is if I take you to a factory that makes 3 products, that first makes medicines, the diabetic medication, the glycomeds, whatever. On the left-hand side of the factory, in the middle they make B12, D3 calcium supplements, and on the right side they make protein supplements. The line for the right-hand side typically are the fit people, the ones who are gymmers, so all the fit people go to the right side in the same factory. The middle ones are all the middle-aged ones who are not getting nutrition. So when they go to their doctors, the reports are okay. But the doctor will say, B12 or D3 kam hai.
कम है.
So unko wo, they'll go to the middle of the factory. The left of the factory are all those who have, the milk has spilt. Diabetes ho gaya, cholesterol tha. They will start eating one medicine a day, every day after 40 for BP and everything. Where did that start? It started because your diet was deficient in protein and you kept eating carbs and oil-rich foods. Basically, like I told you, our calorie inflation has happened. The average Indian used to eat 12 to 1400 calories at our grandparents' time. Now, because increase in body size and weight, we need 1800. That 400 gap has come from where? It's come from carbs. And that carb has led to its own problems. It's not that carbs are bad, it's too much carbs. The proportionate increase in protein, 20 grams a day, 30 grams a day, hasn't come. Now, how much dal will you drink? You get fed up of dal, yeah, after some time. And what told you, tofu is not even a native food. You don't like it. Soya, how much will you
How
have?
much, yeah, so I myself.
Vegetarians struggle. I'm not saying every 20-year-old vegetarian should start protein powder. I'm just saying go figure it out. Within your palate, where's your 60 grams going to come from? Now, if I tell you to stand on the right-hand side of the factory and go and get 1 scoop a day and calm down, you'll say no. It's processed. That medicine was what? Grown on a tree. The glycomed which you are willing to take twice a day, thrice a day, just so that you can eat food, that you'll take. The nutraceuticals grew on trees. No. They were isolated from fish and plant sources. At the end of the day, everything is processed. That cultivation that was done also is processed.
Yeah.
That wheat which came to your shop and you just bought it was also processed. Everything is a process. If you have to feed 7 billion people and you have reducing agriculture land, how are you going to scale food production? You're going to finally have to bring in food science, which allows you to preserve food for longer periods of time so you can transport it all around the world. And when you're going to do that, you're going to put in preservatives. Again, the dosage has been tried by scientists as to how much of that is unhealthy for a human. We all know 2 roti se kuch nahi hota hai. Puro 2 ka 6 roti karega, and then you'll blame the preservative in the roti. Whose fault was it? So, I think people are absolutely off on the wrong track only.
हाँ मतलब उसके बाद ग्लूटेन बंद करना है क्योंकि इतना सब खा लिया है then they are like
लफड़ा 6 रोटी का था, 2 रोटी में ग्लूटेन से कुछ नहीं, ग्लूटेन का डोज भी इतना था, but no, it's the gluten.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how we have started talking about allergies at the age of 40, 35 now. They're going and doing these tests. From the age of 0 to 22, you were not allergic to anything. And suddenly now you became allergic to lactose. Okay?
Yeah.
It's not the overfeeding, it's the lactose. It's not the overfeeding, it's the gluten, which is just amazing. Like we are becoming, that's the woke, so individualistic. Ki there has to be a unique, fancy reason for your obesity. Each person's obesity, they want to justify ki, no, mine is not overeating. Mine is because I was overfed gluten. Okay. What about the overall excess calories and the eating out that you did? Now, you have to find, Indians love blaming one thing. You come down and blame that one thing. Oh, it was that. It's not so simple, yeah. It's some
They lack taking accountability.
we love just passing the buck, it wasn't me. I was doing everything. It was that one thing. But then you stopped that one thing 3 years back. Still, why you're not losing weight? Because you did that replacement thing, no? Isko hata ke you brought something else. And that's not giving you the same bliss point. So you increase the dosage of that. Calories didn't change. I'm just saying it's time to stop being silly. Yes. I'll go back to your original question. First is nutrition. Get it sorted. Keep the calories capped. Calm down. So get your micronutrients, get your protein, and then we'll talk about, you won't need the calories then. That's what Bollywood does. They take their nutrition, take their protein, then they look for food which they like, native Indian food, and they calm down. But they don't go beyond that dose. You don't even need it. Exercise किया, Himalayas गया, पहाड़ चढ़ा, भूख लगेगी, खाओ ना. But इतना सब नहीं किया तो then.
Yeah.
What I find most amazing about all of us is we are all Vasuli Kidas. Vasuli Kida to the point where if you're in a 5-star hotel and someone else has paid, or even you're paid for that breakfast, which is complimentary on paper, you will eat 2,000 calories and leave there. Yeah. You'll sit there from 8 to 10.
Yeah. And I know people who do that and then they'll be like, pura din fir thoda sa, cancel culture, as you said. Like, theek.
Oh no, we won't have lunch.
Yeah, we won't have
But that lunch mein, they'll have packed 3 croissants from the breakfast, so they'll go and eat it on the way. We are all same kida everywhere. It doesn't matter. You come in any German car, you will still behave the same. It is just that deprivation mindset, the famine mindset has to go. This is a developed mindset, developed country mindset. You will not find most of them doing this. For them, this is normal. Go to a 5-star. The ability to pick and choose what to eat itself is a sign of richness.
Richness, yeah.
The fact that you have a choice. Choose healthy, no. That is wisdom. Wisdom is not, oh, I'm rich enough, I can afford anything. Beta kuch bhi manga, main hu. You got to stop that.
Yeah.
You got to stop that. So it's very interesting.
No, that's what I've said. That nutrients or iski baat to hoti nahi na khane mein.
You can't keep talking about nutrients.
No, but it's more about like कि emotion based ज़्यादा है तो अभी जो
show
मिल रहा है तेरे को show off.
Show off.
Yeah. मनसार करना.
कुछ
घर कोई आया है तो इतना दो क्यों आदमी.
पर वो देने का काम उनका है, खाने का काम आपका है ना. I don't eat. I go to how many houses? I travel to 3 cities a month. I've been Indore, Jaipur, Lucknow, Ahmedabad. Every city has a unique, savory, salty Indian snack. So Jaipur has something, North has, Indore has something. Every city has a unique snack to that culture. Are you going to sit eating high volumes in every city? Or do you trust yourself to taste it and share it and stop? That is your job. खातिरदारी करने का उनका right है. आप कितना खाओगे वो आपका भी right है ना?
100%.
You wouldn't do that to your car.
Yeah.
How can you do it to yourself? But people don't think that far. I told you ना, chance मिल रहा है ना. वो YOLO है. You only live once. मैं इधर वापस नहीं आया तो. It's all true. But we have enough time and resources to go back here. Where's the...
Hurry.
Yeah.
Talking about fads, woke culture. Abhi, because you are into, like you have a obesity center, what is your take on Ozempic? Do you have patients who come and tell you about Ozempic? And how does it actually work? What is your take on Ozempic?
We do give Ozempic to a lot of patients. I have personally given it to lots of them. It's a nice new, it's the latest kid on the block.
Okay.
And it does work. I mean, I've seen patients who respond, especially diabetics respond very well.
Okay.
And let's say that there is a certain percentage of people who do have difficulty eating less.
Okay.
There is. Now, whether you want to call it a psychological disorder or whether it's just a dependency, 125, 130, 140 kgs, I do understand when they want to drop 20. Initially, the josh is there, we call up, they follow some diet, they lose 10, 15 kgs. Then they run out of willpower. 3 mahine mein abhi sir bas abhi thoda. And that bus, I call it the Simran phase, which is ja Simran ji le apni zindagi, because I have to let them go at some point.
Yeah.
Jao, thoda zindagi, to you get frustrated. And that body has a natural talent to eat larger volume of food. It's just built like that. But then how do you eat only fiber and, protein? Taste is not there. So they want to eat carb-rich foods. That's the time these medications work. Even the shakes, the meal replacement shakes. So we make them fill up with this. Ozempic does the same thing. It curbs hunger centrally. Okay. So you stop feeling a little hungry. And at the same time, you can't eat that volume. So we tell them, taste kar lo, Jitna khana hai thoda, they can't eat only. It's in alcoholism also there is a drug like that. There are drugs which don't let it interacts with the alcohol. So you feel sick. So they don't, and these guys feel dizzy all the time. All this is there. Nothing wrong. So the meal replacers, the drugs, the protein shakes, all these are just built to aid meal hunger suppression. So it's a phase. When they lose another 10-15 kgs, that through the drug induced, then they become mobile enough to start exercising. Then we start giving them little more exercise. Then you allow them to eat again. So it takes a long time to lose 50 kgs. So Ozempic fits into that treatment. What I don't like it is the pre-wedding market, where I have a lot of girls, and especially this 25 to 30 age group, they're like, they've just put on that little college plus first job wala weight, and they've gone to somewhere close to 78. Now they want to go back to 65, and they're like, sir, 3 mahine mein wo Ozempic se ho jayega na. Like, truth
Yeah,
is,
that age where you can actually work out, you can
हाँ,
do
but वो
a
मेहनत है ना,
Oh, my-
वो मेहनत है, वो मेहनत है. It's serious मेहनत. I mean, you'll have to put your head down.
And again-
They don't want to race. They want the Instagram pics. And to get to the Instagram pics with that kind of body, you'll have to, have serious meal suppression. To me, that's not, I don't know, again, who's to judge? If that weapons are available, you fire them, right? So people, I have not prescribed them to that age group, but a lot of them, they come, they join, they talk about weight loss. 2-3 हफ्ते बाद कुछ weight loss नहीं होता है. And then quietly they're like, sir, वो दे दो ना. Ramban chalao na. We're like, nahi, it's not going to happen. I tell them, you fast alternate day if you have to. You lose a kg or 2 kgs in whatever, every 2 weeks you lose a kg. Reverse engineering a kg loss a week is not hard for a person who's motivated. Take it, man. You don't even have an eating disorder. You have an outside food eating disorder. बाहर का खाना बंद करो, अपने आप हो जाएगा. घर पे तेल कम कर दो, सैलेड बढ़ा दो, डिनर बंद करो, प्रोटीन शेक चालू कर दो. इन यंग पीपल इट्स नॉट हार्ड, बट दे लाइक, सर ये सब कौन करेगा? Just give me the sellotape, no, which is Ozempic. So again, my problem is not with Ozempic. My problem is when the Ozempic stops. Post marriage, when that Ozempic stops, and if this is an arranged marriage, and if that's the only version of you he or she saw, and that bloats out of control after marriage, you're basically marrying someone who's not that person physically. Emotionally, you may be in love, all that is cool. But if that person for whatever reason falls out of love with you because it was not you, or it was based on a lie. I'm not saying it's a lie, but I'm saying it's not authentic effort.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with losing weight and gaining it back, but you've done it inauthentically, and then at some level there is, again, the word is dishonesty, but there's a trickitude there.
Yeah.
You got to be very careful. Like, would you like that happen in your case?
No.
A person just came to you, married you, looking all perfect, all ripped. And then suddenly you realize, oh, you're just pumping anabolic steroids for the last 3 months. And post-marriage, it goes back to 100 kgs. It's not that 100 kg people are unattractive. That's not my point. Point is inauthenticity.
Yeah.
The fact that he or she would put on a show for you like that.
No, and also the fact that you get attached, as you said, on social media or for that marriage, you get attached to the idea of looking perfect all the time, which is really scary. So if you're taking a drug,
Yeah.
just to look perfect, and then people have so much identity issues after that, because then accepting yourself the way you are, maybe you can have bigger hips or you can have a certain waistline, and then where do you get to accepting yourself at certain point?
And that was you.
Yeah.
And that wasn't you.
Yeah.
And it's very tricky. Like I'm saying, I don't know again. See,
It's also, again, we come back to the whole point of having so many options available,
Yeah.
that now you just want the quickest way out, because you're used to results. Don't you think we are used to getting our rewards way quicker? Like, jaldi chahiye sab kuch. I'm sure people must be coming to you कि 2 महीने में, 1 महीने में चाहिए, शादी करना है 3 महीने में दो.
yeah.
मेरे को
वो होता है, ऑप्टिमाइजेशन करना है ना. इंडियंस आर मास्टर्स ऑफ कम टाइम में ज़्यादा रिजल्ट. वसूली अगेन दैट सेम थिंग कि जल्दी करा के दो. लाइक,
do you also think that men and women have a different relation with food in general? Like वो बोलते हैं ना कि आदमी के दिल का रास्ता पेट से होता है. So do you think that both have a different way of perceiving food, having food, and how it works with their system in general?
yeah, of course. I mean, I think it also has a different impact in both the bodies.
Okay.
So the same men have, of course, growth hormone, testosterone. So naturally, they don't. If you just take the weight context, okay, we both go through the same emotional crisis. We both out eat our way through it. you will naturally gain a lot more weight than I will. So it's just the way it is. You'll gain more fat. I'll gain weight, but muscle weight, and I can just quickly get rid of it. For you, it'll take decades to get rid of it. So the impact of that overeating is very different in both genders. That's all. Beyond that, the relationship with food is the same. The genetic loading, which is the genes are loaded, the lifestyle pulls the trigger. So food loading is the same in both. I have not seen any difference. There are men going through crisis. There are women going through crisis. Both go through it. Of course, I've seen women go through more boredom crisis.
Okay.
There are a lot more bored women out there than I've seen bored men. I've seen stressed men. I've seen stressed women, but I've just seen women just bored with life, like the kids and the whole joint family and वही करना है सुबह उठ के routine and कुछ एक stimulation चाहिए तो वो खाना बन गया बस. With men, I see more of the, it's just like if they have a failure or something, yes, then they go to food. But I've rarely seen men just mulling around eating. Then men tend to drink more, which is the other problem. So, again, it's slightly different coping mechanisms.
Okay.
But men also tend to go hang with their friends when they feel low. Women in general, after a certain age, start masking it. They will not go hang with their friends. They won't tell them what they're going through. So they just quietly eat more sugar, so to stay afloat. So again, these are small things.
Yeah.
Arman jo suppressed rehte hai, so women will suppress it with the sugar. Men tend to speak it out or, go be men, go drink it up or whatever.
Yeah.
But in general, I find the relationship with exercise very different.
Okay.
Men take to exercise like a fish to water when they'll take to it. Women will always be transactional for the large part, which is ये करने से ये मिलेगा. And जब वो मिल गया, formality हो गया, अभी बस. Men tend to be more actualization driven, which is what's the best I can be.
Yeah.
There are a lot of women now who are buying into that logic, thankfully, who by the time have realized that this is also a sense of joy. It's not an escape. It's not, and I deserve it. So most women tend to believe they don't deserve that free time, that sense of achievement. They just don't go there. They just keep sacrifice is like a common thing, and that becomes like a sort of leverage in the world, saying, I'm sacrificing. But after, and it's a drug in itself. But when I see women stepping up, just doing it, it's awesome. Like they also can take initiative, go climb. Like I have so many patients who have done their life. They're 25, I call it the 25 years. The 25 to 50, they've done their thing. And now, बस हो गया, like बच्चे बड़े हो गए, whatever, अभी क्या करना है? So, चलो, ले लद्दाख जाना है, उसके लिए 1 साल. So, lots of women who join the program for that, who tell us husband is playing golf, he's bored of his career. We want to now step out, have a great career, at the same time, go up the mountains and girl gang and do all our stuff. So, it just depends how you respond to that post-menopause phase. There are 2 pathways at that point.
Yeah, one can take it negatively, like it could be a spiral where you can actually
You can just remain attached to that thing, that world that you had created and not escape the cocoon. And there are women who just escape it and follow their instinct for exploration, which is you learn from the men. Because men learn to take risk and fail, get up again and do it. Women are not, somehow conditioned to sort of be more nurturing, protective, which is protect themselves from failure.
Yeah.
But when they learn to fail fast, that's when they really start like showing up. Because risk taking is a native, intuitive thing to all of us.
Yeah.
Just some are more scared than others, So not to say that all men are risk takers or all women are not risk takers, but traditionally, I think few generations men have taken more risk. So it's just natural.
Natural, yeah.
Or society expects it of you. But with women, like one of my friends, Nikita, she's a very anti-feminist kind of person. She always believes that, she always tells me that, Malhar, if I sit at home from tomorrow doing nothing, nobody will tell me anything in this world. But if my husband sat at home from tomorrow, the world will start saying, oh, your husband sits at home. So she said, as a woman, I have that option. It's up to me whether I want to step out, whether I want to become lean. I can just sit obese and tell the world, oh, I sacrificed for the family and this is situation and whatever.
मेरे पास time नहीं है, घर का responsibility है, like give like.
Yeah, aging parents, so and so and so and so. And I can just go on saying, बच्चों को school छोड़ना पड़ता है, फिर ये class है, वो class है, time नहीं है. And to cope, मैं खाती हूँ, मेरी गलती नहीं है. And at the same time, if my husband becomes overweight, obese, yeah, I'll see it. So men have that pressure of perfection, which they have taken on themselves. To me, I think now it's time women realize that women in the workplace is nothing new. That is not a flex anymore. You showing up in my organization, 85% are women. And I see the pressure they are under.
But the beauty standards, like you just said, ki it's for males, like they have to look in a certain way.
Yeah.
I think, isn't it more for females? Like I have so many females, like what I look like because of social media, because of going out now that females have started stepping out. In fact, it's even more defined for females. In fact, a fat man or a fat, whatever, obese man is still like,
As
you
long
can't
as
be
you're
there.
successful.
Yeah, exactly. People don't have, but for a woman to constantly look good or have those perfect numbers
Curves,
and
yeah.
figures, curves, it's always like ki matlab she has to fit in.
Yeah, but the counter argument from women can't be obese is fine. It's okay to be out of shape. You can be overweight, but out of shape is not excusable. 3 hours of exercise in a week out of 180, if you can't pull off, there's something wrong with the way you've structured your week then. You're making someone else's monkeys your circus. So as they say, not my circus, not my monkey. जिस गाँव को जाना नहीं उसका पता आप पूछ रहे हो. So there is something wrong with the way you're putting too many people before you, or you're biting off more than you can chew. I don't know. End of the day, you have to be able to do it all. Men have been doing it all for decades. Women have just stepped into that do it all from the last, say, 25 years. And that's why we are seeing a lot of pressure in arthritis and sugars and everything coming in. But I think women have to normalize now 2-3 hours of me time. Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And the men, again, maybe it's one generation of men who will grow up and realize that this is what women need and make space for it. But then the women have to also maybe fight that little stereotype ki I need this.
Yeah.
But that's part of the package now. I think in most of our households, I'm driving. My mom goes to the gym. I take my my daughters. I'm kicking them out all the time. My wife comes. Ye normal hai. I don't treat them as women. They're just human beings
Yeah.
who need to be healthy. So इतना brain जरूरत ही नहीं है.
No, so I think that as you said, ki, males have been doing it. I think females have been doing it for the family, for a lot of other people. But as you said, they need to start prioritizing themselves and their health. I think वो जो time है वो निकालना जरूरी है. सब कर रहे हैं, but वो excuse, they should stop using that as an excuse.
You can't lie on your bed and watch reels or doom scroll or watch every serial on Netflix for distraction or stimulation or whatever it is. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. You can do it on a cross trainer, no? Go stand on the cross trainer, do 45 minutes and catch up on the serials. I have no problem with that. You can't do it at home, yeah? You can't lie down on that bed for 4 hours and just do that. I mean, that's criminal, and then say it ki, oh, but at least I'm working. So I give a lot of talks in these women organizations where I say the same thing. Just because you're doing 8 hours or 7 hours doesn't give you the license to mess up your health. It's not, you can't leverage that and tell me, at least I'm working, I'm taking care of the family. I agree. But men have been doing that for generations. And what have they got for it? Messed up health, no? So women are also going to get there. We don't have to screw up our health just because we want to have a career.
Yeah, I think the me time is very much important.
Yeah,
Start
that
taking care of yourself.
out eating stress is just crazy, man.
Yeah.
Just crazy. Learn to out exercise it, no?
Yeah.
What
do you say about like one more important factor when we talk about food and whatever we've been discussing is cravings? Okay. So I think most of us go wrong. Like I will be like on a strict thing like Monday to Friday, ye nahi khana, as you said. And then Saturday, Sunday would be like where all the cravings kick in. So what are exactly food cravings and how can I manage them in general?
half the food cravings are micronutrient deficiency.
As you said,
So
yeah.
salt, or B12, D3, calcium. You'll start overeating snacks or ready-to-eat foods that contain those. Like you're lacking salt in your body, you'll just quickly eat a vada pav, samosa, something which contains a lot of salt in the evening.
So if I feel like having a vada pav, what should I do instantly? Have like,
Nothing. There's nothing wrong. If you haven't had calories the whole day and you want to have vada pav, go have it. Because you need the energy from the vada pav. There's nothing wrong with it.
no, but replacing that with a healthy.
There is no such thing. You didn't need the food.
Okay.
You needed a nimbu pani with salt. So if you technically need salt, just have salt. There's no need to have food. 250, 300 calories for 3 or 2 milligrams of salt is crazy. Most of our namkeen, salted peanuts, the different packets we tear in the evening and consume, all that, all these chips, basically salt. We live in a tropical country. We keep sweating. The other half of the cravings is I'm sitting in an 18-degree air-conditioned office all day. I keep feeling cold. So whenever I'm feeling cold, I need something to warm myself up. But to warm myself, I'll go and drink sugared tea 3 times a day. You have to learn to drink warm water. Or then you get used to higher doses of that sugar. But the original need of the body was the body temperature struggling with the air conditioning. So you learn to identify the source of the craving. It's not craving. Very often it's environmental, micronutrient deficiency. Then, of course, there's the whole world of sugar. And I find that is linked to the body fat percent. So if you're basically on a calorie deficit, and let's say your body is, most women are 30 to 40% body fat. That means 30 to 40% of your daily calories are servicing that fat. So if you're, say, 60 kgs and 60 kgs at 40% is 24 kgs of fat. That 40% of your daily 1200 calories is almost 500 calories. Now, if you are in a deficit, that 500, the fat is going to fight back saying, I'm fighting for survival.
Survival, yeah.
It's going to ask for sugar. It's going to ask for oil. Now, you have to learn to have those in food. Complex carbohydrates will do the same job. But how do you have just 150 calories and not the sugar? It's difficult. My suggestion is, if you're really struggling, just have that 2 pieces of dairy milk and end the story. I'm not a big believer in suppressing all cravings. I think there's no harm if out of 2000 calories in a day, you dedicated 100 to high glycemic sugars. It's not the end of the world. And you will do it anyway. You'll just call it jaggery. You will call it some native Indian food and you'll just justify it.
Yeah.
But you will not have a packed sugar containing thing. You'll just have something else as the same glycemic effect. I'm just saying, end of the day, the drama is not needed. Even our grandparents would have something sweet after every meal. Nobody died because of that. Okay, they died because of old age. Now, again, coming back to life expectancy in this whole thing is a very big elephant in the room topic, which is people in World War I and II, at that age, people used to die very young. 30, 35 was life expectancy, average. But because of sanitation, because of modern medicine, because of allopathy, because of so many things that we have now brought in, emergency medical care on every corner, the life expectancy has doubled. So you will start taking tablets by 35, the BP tablet, then the cholesterol, thyroid, but you will pull on to 75. Now, this extra life that you've been given, the amount of complications you can potentially have will only come from the food. So if you want to accelerate this aging process, if you don't want to rationalize yourself with the food, you're just going to be eating a tablet for every meal. So the average patient I see takes 1 tablet at 40, 2 at 45, 4 at 50, 8 at 55, and 16 by 60. So there's every 5 years a doubling, which is insanity.
Yeah.
It's only happening because you don't want to let go the same food.
Yeah.
Your metabolism is slowing through the years. Just thoda kam karo na. So this craving has to be only controlled by learning to exercise, keeping your body fat percent in check. Baki environmental craving, sort it at the source. No, I drink warm water. So in my clinic, every half an hour or 1 hour, he brings us about 200 ml of warm water in a glass. Because AC चालू रहता है, वो पिया तो body temperature normal हो जाता है. I don't need the tea coffee all the time. Might have it once in a day when I need the little stimulation.
Yeah.
Neend aati hai after lunch. You have a coffee sometime around 3, 4. That's okay.
So you got to be smart. If you feel that
Distinguish between craving and body's physiological need. Okay, so there are physical needs which are not craving. Salt is not a craving. You just labeled it as namkeen.
Yeah.
वो नमक ही है ना. You're keen on namak. वो नमकीन हो गया.
Yeah.
So end of the day, just be very, thoda use the intelligence. People get too judgy. Like I told you, there's too much judgment in this sector.
Yeah.
Again, if you want namak and you're having biscuits, you're dipping that rusk or your Parle G. Again, it's all the namak in that damn thing. You don't need it. So I call this the piggybacking principle.
Okay.
You wanted salt, you piggyback 300 calories on it. You wanted to raise your body temperature, you piggybacked 2 teaspoons of sugar on it. So take away the
हाँ मतलब चाहिए था इतना बट
चाहिए था कुछ और,
कुछ और चाहिए था,
आपने वो
कुछ और खा लिया.
forest for the trees हो गया वो unnecessary. Anyway, like I said, I've really studied this in detail where the leakages in the Indian diet is. It's not behavioral. It's just lack of what I call what the mind does not know, the eyes did not see. So if the mind did not know that I'm actually feeling cold, the eyes only saw tea and coffee. But once you realize it was not the tea, coffee, you're dehydrated. You need water. You're feeling cold. You need warm water.
Yeah.
Then you don't need the tea, coffees that many.
Yeah.
People have 6, 8, 10 cups a day.
Yeah.
But it started with that 1 cup because of the temperature. Things like this, you know. So if you're in a hot city, you're feeling very hot, you should be drinking water. But usse chodo cold coffee le kya? You know, so these are where the leakages happen. There's nothing wrong. It's just, you know, and then we'll start blaming gluten and, you know. So,
Yeah. मतलब
so
yeah, very right. And in the corporate वही होता है कि because you're sitting on the table, वो it's easier कि tea, coffee.
and it's all free accessibility here. You just go up and again, it's very Western. You see Netflix, you see them. Like my wife always says, ये Netflix serials में कोई खाना नहीं खाता है क्या? वो दारू पीते रहते नहीं तो कॉफी पीते रहते, कोई खाना ही नहीं खाता. Again, they are all actors. They are all sub-zero temperature body. Everybody's BMI is in 17 to 20. And they just don't seem to eat. And they're all 40 plus. He's suit cereal and all. But that's how they live. That's the shoot phase. You're only seeing 1 month in a year in their life. The other 10 months, they are normal, obese people roaming around, wearing sweaters, eating, you know. But वो नहीं दिखता ना, हमको सिर्फ वो दिखता है. वो रोज जाके वाइन पीता है बार में, नशा ripped रहता है. अरे भाई, it's not like that.
So you gave a very nice, and we were talking about this, that if I have like a wedding to attend, जहाँ पे मुझे पता है कि binge eating होने वाला है, like मैं बहुत कुछ खाने वाली हूँ, different food items, and also this culture, I just said abundance हर जगह पे. You go to a restaurant also, you have like a plethora of dishes, and you tend to eat very different kinds of foods together. So I'm having panesion also, I'm having idli, dosa also, and everyone's having everything in one meal where the body is not able to understand क्या खा रहे हो exactly at one point. So what is your tip? What is that one tip that you would tell if I want to not eat that much before I'm heading out, where I know that कि बहुत सारा food होने वाला है, but I want to keep myself in control?
My tip is there is no such thing as control. There is only such a thing as loyalty.
Okay.
Where do your loyalties lie? Is it to that 1500 rupees envelope that you gave and the vasuli that you have to do? You eat 1500 calories? Or does your loyalty lie with you and your morning that you're going to have and the fact that you'll go and do a 10K run or climb a hill, which you'll struggle to do if you ate all those oily snacks and came? Or the second serving of dessert. So end of the day, there are no tips and tactical strategies to deal with all this. My suggestion to most people is every time you leave home, you don't have to eat.
Okay.
This is not an opportunity game like a predator in a Serengeti where every time a lion gets out, he has to conserve his calories because he has to eat. When he eats, he has calories. Otherwise, he has to hunt. With us, it's not a hunt. We are not so deprived or itna mehnat nahi lagta hai to get food. We just have to leave home. Or even at home, there's enough food. So we don't have to act like that ki every time I'm surrounded by food, I have to eat. Yeah. It has to become a superpower in you. You take any Bollywood person, call them to an event. Will you see them taking a plate? They will not, because their loyalty lies to themselves and I use Bollywood loosely, but I also mean athletes. You call a Roger Federer to a function where there are random pastas and he will not pick up things and shove it in his mouth because his loyalty lies to his body. That's his Mercedes. He will not put junk in it. By junk, I mean anything where he doesn't know where it's coming from. Like a Djokovic. He wouldn't even put a vaccine in his body. They are that fanatical. You can also be. Your future depends on it. I'm not saying you be that rabidly fanatical, but you don't have to eat everything. Like my favorite saying for outside food is eat for taste, not for volume. If you have to eat, taste a bunch of things. And we live in a taste economy now where I did a own study, my own ChatGPT in a few months back, and I saw that in 1 week, I ate 65 different things in 1 week. When I saw the number of things that went in my mouth, from a coffee to a coconut milk coffee, etc., etc., there were almost 10 things every day that I was eating, and on an average 65 things every week. What all is my gut supposed to handle? It's handling it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's the level of taste variability we have brought into our life. So there's no space for volume.
Also, I think the gut issue, as you're saying, 65 food items. I mean, if you see our, मतलब पहले के जो लोग थे, food बहुत classified था.
Repetitive
वो-
होता था.
हाँ, repetitive. रोज आप वही खा रहे हो. तो gut is also used to that kind of a food. उसको पता है क्या आने वाला है, उसको कैसे process करना है.
हम मंडे को इटालियन खाते हैं, वेडनेसडे को स्पेनिश खाते
नहीं,
हैं,
and maybe एक दिन में सब भी खाते हैं.
सब भी खाते हैं.
Because
और
when you
एक
go for
मील में
one meal, that's what I'm saying. That we are having so many different tastes that
body handles it, yeah.
Yeah.
Body handles it. I'm just saying we should have some respect for the body.
Yeah.
It comes out of a sense of loyalty. That's all I'm saying, you know.
Okay.
To your own future, to your own body.
Okay, one major thing that every corporate person or all of us, for that matter of fact, is late night eating, I think. And people get hungry late in the night. What do you suggest them usually? What should they do?
I tell them to have a protein bar normally. A protein bar is a good way to keep the calorie at 200.
Okay.
So anything else will open the door to 500. घर पे रखा हुआ कोई चिप्स पैकेट खोला तो 400-500 हो जाता है. So a protein bar provides that little bit of protein and little bit of, you know, I have that. I keep protein bars at home. My kids often come out at night rampaging for stuff. वो एक protein bar लेके जाते हैं. So chocolate होना चाहिए ना उसमें. So these chocolate protein bars work. I mean, again, these are just keeping up with the times and there's nothing else you can do.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to open the fridge and make 2 eggs at 11 o'clock at night. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
No. So it has to be a RTE, ready to eat product. And if you keep dairy milk, then I'll open that. So fridge में जो है वो खाएंगे ना. So better to keep few protein bars.
So the best thing is just have replacements, the right replacements for things so that you know
What I call healthier.
healthier food.
Healthier.
Healthier.
So healthy जमा नहीं तो healthier. You know, end of the day you can't say protein bar is the perfect replacement.
Yeah.
There is no replacement. There's only coping now. But again, why are you hungry at 11? Was the dinner inadequate? Was the protein less in the day? Was the salt less? What is your body actually struggling with that it wants food? Or is it just craving? With just craving, you need to get rid of it slowly.
Okay.
Start sleeping a little earlier. I'm saying that's one of the biggest problems I face because obesity causes a lot of sleep apnea. They don't sleep. Yeah, these are genuine things. I mean, you need to give them sleeping pills at sometimes. You know, सो जाओ. हो जाते हैं 10 बजे. एक बार आदत हो गई तो they don't have that night meal. But there are, like I said, हजार things in this. Again, what's eating you?
I think enough about food. I think a lot of clarity for sure that I've got out here. And I think people should stop taking Instagram reels, like all of them so seriously and listen to everything. Like take it with a pinch of salt, understand your body. I think that's where you should be at. One thing, because Rawr is about relationships also. And I want to ask you that because you have an obesity center, you have people who come with obesity problems. Do you think that how they look affects their relationships in a certain way?
Yeah, there is low self-esteem that goes with obesity. So if you have two people struggling with low self-esteem or incomplete cycles or not emotionally stable, for whatever reason, it's not just all obese people are emotionally unstable, but if they just aren't two decisive, strong people, then they can be, the relationship does become a little unstable itself. But I personally believe that you can always marry someone and then have a life episode where that person comes on steroids and becomes obese and becomes emotionally unstable. So if the relationship is truly in stone and there is enough loyalty and confidence, that and love or whatever, that you can outlast that thing. So I don't believe that marriages are for relationships are based on two perfect people. So the imperfections can occur later also. So end of the day, I think there should be a lot more than what is visible. And I convince a lot of our patients who are obese between the age of 35 to 40 that they shouldn't become pessimistic. Again, should they want to get married? I made a reel saying there's a lot of girls who are nowadays telling me, oh, I don't want to get married anyway, so why should I be fit? But I found that approach messed up because I said being fit has nothing to do with your personal life choices, and that was the reel. But they heard it the other way, saying I'm judging people for not wanting to get married. When that was not at all what I said. I said being fit is non-negotiable whether or not you want to get married. No one's asking whether you seek validation from the opposite gender.
Yeah.
But end of the day, an overweight, obese person in a world of Instagram will feel a little conscious. You go in a flight, they are built for up to 30 BMI. None of our transport can handle 30 BMI plus. So you will feel indignities on a day-to-day basis. So I think if there is a relationship, you got to be be sensitive that the other person might be feeling a little, like he or she's not fitting in. So making that space in your head that you're also not adding more fuel to fire by saying, why don't you just lose weight? And enabling it by saying, Chal, I'll also come to the gym twice a week. And we have so many couples where the husband and wives, women write on the, when they send their success stories, they write, don't change her, change with her. Or don't change him, change with him. So that's amazing. That is real class to me. So I think if a relationship can be before obesity, after obesity, in spite of obesity, that's a stronger thing. This is just a visible thing.
But as you said, that the relationship with yourself also gets defined by, as you said, self-esteem. So I already did this. So I know the opposite, where also when you start hitting the gym or you start working out, you automatically start feeling so good about yourself. So those are the good side effects, I would say.
Of course.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to feel good all the time.
Yeah.
But you can't always, feel good. There are crests and troughs, So I think those troughs is where you go to the spouse, right?
Yeah.
Crests, you're living your life, everything's great, God is great, But when you're down, I think that's where the spouse has a larger role. Relationship comes in handy there. Otherwise, what's the point? You just keep traveling the world and clicking Instagram reels. That's all good when it's all good. What happens when the other guy starts struggling or the girl starts struggling, lose their job, lose confidence, put on weight? Is that when you step up or is that when you run away? So I think that these are very critical character tests. So I think obesity is a very small part of the puzzle. But seeing that there's a lack of motivation to do something about it, that's where I think the partner has to be sensitive that my partner is going through a demotivated phase. Not giving them motivational speeches. Because when a person is down, they don't want motivational speeches.
Yeah.
They want silent support. They want silent opportunity creation, saying, I'm not motivated enough to go and join a gym. So can you just go and do that part for me? I'll come with you. Because they can see the effort. But that level of, people think it happens magically in a marriage. It doesn't. Sometimes men and women have to be coached. कि भाई तू जाके करना वो ट्रेनर घर पे बुलाना मेरे से वो बुलाने का काम नहीं हो रहा है.
I'm not feeling that. So you just do it for me. And
If I could do it, I'd do it.
I'll do it. Yeah.
So many women and men who join our program, I have to just nudge them. It takes 6 months to nudge them. These are called the nudge theory of obesity. Just jana. And then it starts with, she's like, but I'm not worth it. I won't follow. So that pessimism which has set in, we have to just nudge. Don't start with the fact that you think you're not worth it. You won't be consistent. वो सब बाद में. Don't think. Just 2 दिन जा. Like you said, एक बार जाना चालू हो गया तो वो हो जाता है. But वो जाना. But then it goes to the polar opposite, which is अभी मैं marathon भागूंगा. Then you have to pull them back. कि भाई उतना दूर नहीं.
Thank you so much for being on Rawr. I think it was beautiful and so many insights about relationships, especially for me. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So I'm sure there were a lot of aha moments and a lot of takeaways from this episode. Please tell us in the comments below what you feel about this episode, and do not forget to share this with your friends and family because it can change someone's life. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Till then, keep rising and embracing in love. And do not forget, I roar.